Hi. Hi. Hey. I'm I am live. Waiting for people to sign on. Uh-oh. Worked at the pawn shop. Ready for slop in the slop kitchen. Then we begin, is what Al said, and my other friend. We'll never be dead. We'll never meet our end. Yeah, right. And he one day will die like me. We'll be okay. We'll feel so happy and free tonight. All us friends. Al may come back and way later meet his end. It's not whack, it's okay. Everything is all right today. It's all right, okay. Everyone's having a good time, great. It's all right. Hey, how are you today? Hello. How are you? Hello, other person too. It's two. Everything's good. Three. Hey, come on now. Just sing with me. Yeah, sing with me and dance if you're in a musical, but you're not, neither am I. So we stop. Okay. Um hi. Hey. So here's the thing. Favorite movies and actors and actors, wherever you choose to call them. Um Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Great. Good. Good. Okay. So, favorite movie stars and actors. Looking buff to play Wolverine in a comedy. Wolverine spelled wrong. Yeah, looking buff to play Wolverine. I'm sorry. Maybe that comedy's not as everybody turned off. Uh Danica's been telling me she doesn't like all that stuff. She's been saying she doesn't like any of that stuff. She wants me to do this way. Okay, who are your favorite? Oh, natural born killers. Um, that's what's his name? That's I'm not into those horrors, but that's good. You know, like natural born killers. That director's all right, Oliver Stone. Um, he was one of my favorites. I never got as much into natural born killers, but I saw it back. I watched it back then, but I don't do as much of the horrific type of stuff. I'm not into that horrific type of stuff. I don't want to. Just never really done it that much in my films. My films have always been like kind films and having a good purpose in entertaining and just entertaining without the good moral. Oh my gosh, the dog came. Oh my gosh, the dog came in. The dog came in. Hey, let's see if I can pick him up. See if I can pick her up like a cat. Hey, how's it going? I'm gonna pick her up like a cat. Did you like to be? What's she doing? What is she doing? she's like a baby. She's a baby. She's a baby. She's a baby. What's she? She came in to get food. Okay. Let's see. Okay, who are your favorite movie actors and movie directors and all that? Movie stars, filmmakers, screen all those people in the movie stuff. Who else do you like? Oh, you like Natural Born Killers? Yeah, she's kind of cute. The dog. Her name's Daisy. She just walked right in. Um, I like. Who do I like for filmmakers? Um, um, all sorts of people. Akira. One of my favorites was Akira Kurosawa. When I was more of like a film theory critical thinking type of person that would read and study and take notes and go back and read the sentence again and consider the semantic subtext and literal meaning and figurative meaning of every single word and read it over and over again and try to highlight things and do that for that whole page and the next page and study it again and read it. Like I was like really into that stuff. So I liked some of the Akira Kurosawa, which was not as much that stuff. All I had to do was read subtitles for it. Like I wouldn't read a subtitle movie as often nowadays, but that was one of my favorites. And you didn't have to go into that much detail of all the critical, crazy ass studying and stuff that I had to do to go to all that college. I went to 9 colleges and universities, and I ended up really going into film and studying all that stuff. But the professors took it way more seriously than me. All the jargon and ways that they talked about, like all that stuff. So I just, one of my favorites was Akira Kurosawa, The Seven Samurai. It was just a good movie. It was in black and white. It had subtitles. But if you could sit down and just read the subtitles, it was really good, really good. Akira Kurosawa, Seven Samurai. That was one of my favorites. I actually sat in a film school. I sat in UCLA in the film department in a class and watched. I just pretended I was a student when I was like 19 or 20. I went to LA and just went over to UCLA and sat down and pretended I was a film student. And I didn't enroll. And I wore sunglasses in this one class and looked really eccentric and like would ask questions and stuff at UCLA. And I looked really weird. Like one time I put makeup on and put sunglasses and sat in the class and like they're like, who is that guy? And one of my favorites from UCLA film school, which I didn't get accepted, but I just sat in the classes. I went to a different film school, which was good, but it took years to get into it. And I watched Nanook of the North, a really good one. It was like this documentary on Eskimos in Alaska, and I watched it. It was called Nanook of the North, Nanook, Nanook of the North. It's like this old timey film. It was like a documentary. Oh, it was like from the 1930s, I think, or somewhere around there. And it was so real, and they acted like modern day people, like that would just. They're just the same as people today. And but there are these real Eskimos, and it's called Nanook of the North. And how did you get away with it? I don't know. I was like 19 or 20 and just acted. I just went in there and just sat down in the film class, and they hadn't had all the enrollment done yet. And I pretended like I was a student. I even went up to the front of the class and like maybe pretended to sign my name or said who I was, but I wasn't. And then one time I like walked into a film building and I stood there, and it was a big film production thing. And it was at the end of the day, and I watched everyone, and they all started packing up and leaving. And I just stood there and watched them all, and they turned all the lights off and they locked everything up and they left. And I was standing in there, and then this guy came back to get something, and he saw me standing. He goes, "What are you doing here?" And I was like 19 or 20, and I was some kid just trying to learn about movies. I didn't know what I was doing. And he said, "Come on, let's go," or something. And I left. And then I worked on some various movies and stuff. There's one movie, Mike Myers was on set. He was like, had all these people around him. And he was one of my favorite actors, Mike Myers. You can say who your favorite actors are. Did you meet him at conventions or any of that stuff? Like Bruce Campbell Bruce Campbell, that big horror one, but he was in one that wasn't really a horror one. He was in Army of Darkness and this other one that was like a nice horror, like Sam Raimi's horror. Sam Raimi was okay. He's okay. He's a director that one of his proteges. I worked for one of his proteges, J.R. Bookwalter, who's a producer with Full Moon, and he started his own company, Temp Video, and I worked for him. And he was pretty cool. He was a good director, J.R. Bookwalter. He had a movie he made on Super 8 that took him all these years to make called The Dead Next Door, and I like him as a filmmaker. I think he was okay, but Sam Raimi is a big one. Did Spider-Man? He ended up doing Spider-Man, and man, who are your favorite movie people? But I happen to work on movies and stuff. And I lived in Los Angeles for like 7-something years. So you just see those people around town. Like I saw Ashton Kutcher back then. He was in like a new Mercedes, getting his car picked up by valet, and he noticed me, and I noticed him from kind of afar, but I didn't act starstruck or anything. I was like 20 years old or something like that. Was before I met my wife at the time, or before I met her, Danica. And I saw him, and he like got kind of pissed off at me, but because I didn't act like I was starstruck or anything, it was like, oh, it's Ashton Kutcher, and I kind of lost interest, and he like got pissed off or something, and like started like and another person I saw that looked like they were pissed off because like I wasn't starstruck was Larry King. I saw him walking around Beverly Hills, Larry King. And another famous person I saw driving around in a Jaguar was Tommy Chong. Tommy Chong, just driving around Los Angeles in a new looking Jaguar. Tommy Chong, the one that was in Cheech and Chong. He was one of my favorites, Cheech and Chong. Other than some people that close to me started saying, "Oh, his brain's fried" or something, and you shouldn't do that stuff. But they were some of my favorites. Those Cheech and Chong movies, those were so funny. And even Ashton Kutcher with his pranked thing that he came up with, I thought Pranked was funny, but he was more of like a model that looked like really good. And Larry King Alive, I guess, just did a lot of interviews. I'm trying to think of who other famous people I like that are actors and directors. Stanley, anyway, yeah, Punked. Yeah, that was Ashton Kutcher's, but that was like actually funny. That was entertaining. And he produced the whole thing. He's married to a younger woman now. He's my same age, Ashton Kutcher. I just happened to look him up. He's 41. He's married to somebody that's like in their 30s, and I think she's from Israel, and her father was a big singer in Israel. They must be Jewish. And she was really big in movies in her own right, but not quite as big as him. And they got married, and they have a baby, or a girl, I think now. And I don't know who else to talk about. That dog is like that dog is like walking around in there. That dog is like walking around. That dog is walking around in there. But directors. Who are your favorite directors and actors? Actors and directors. Doesn't she do voiceover for Meg? Yeah, I think that's her. Okay. And there's the dog. Don't lick me, please. Please don't lick me. Hey, how's it going? She's good. He's good. She's good. She's a she. Okay. Whoa. Man. Man. I want to see if I can move this laptop. What is she doing? She finally got to come inside. She finally got to go in the house. Wait, what are you doing? She walked in the floor. I didn't exercise yesterday.